Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, just say a hello to me. So sorry, I'm a bit late, 5 minutes late. I had a problem with my internet. So please pardon me on that one. So if you can hear me, just say a hi there. Okay, so okay, hello. Yes. So which means I am live. Thank you everyone for joining. This is the Jobaman live section. Is the Talking Talent webinar series. And today we have something special we're talking about. My name is Genevieve Amponsa and I am the community marketer here at Jobaman. I will be your moderator for today's session. Today we have two speakers, yes. We have two speakers who will be taking us through a major topic, and we'll be talking about staying relevant in today's world of work and economy, the job skills trends for 2021 and beyond. Yes, I know you may have some questions to ask, so if you have any trends that you need to get in 2021 and beyond. So if you're also on Facebook and you have joined us, thank you for joining our session. Yes. It wouldn't take long, yes. So from now till 2:30, 2:45, yes, we will be done, and then we take it up from there. So you're welcome again to our Talking Talent webinar series. Yes, I have with me two speakers. The very first speaker will be Mary Bennett. Mary will be talking to us about staying relevant. Yes, Mary will be talking to us about how to identify and bridge the gap between your skill sets and the jobs market. And then we have Dorcas Kwao of EIB Ghana. She will you when is it time to seize your next opportunity, identification, and the next steps. Yes, so we will not waste much time. I'll invite my speakers and we will take it up from there. Okay, so okay. All right. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Genevieve. Can I start?
1 minute.
Okay, great. That's okay.
Yes. Okay, so let me invite Dorcas to join us. Although you'll be presenting first, I want Dorcas to also join so that the audience will know their speakers. Okay. All right, so I think Dorcas, we are not seeing Dorcas online, so I think we can start with you at the moment. So hello, Mary, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Genevieve. Thank you.
Okay, so before we go, I'd like to introduce you well to the audience.
Thank you.
Mary has over 10 years experience in human resource management, and she is currently the managing partner at Ingenio Capital. And she will be speaking to us about how to identify and bridge the gap between your set skills and the job market. Yes, so Mary, if you can really hear me clearly, please take it away.
Thank you, Genevieve. So I'm just going to share some slides, so just bear with me 1 minute. Great, thank you. Hi everyone, so I'm really honored and privileged and grateful to Jobaman Ghana for the opportunity to share on their platform. As you are aware, the topic I'm covering today is how to identify and bridge the gap between your skill sets and the jobs market. Can you hear me or am I echoing?
Yes, you are clear.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'd like to start off with a quote. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Okay, so hold that at the back of your mind. I'll just briefly introduce myself again. I'm Mary Bennett, like Genevieve said. I'm the managing partner for Ingenio Capital. Up until March this year, I was working with a company called Tallow Oil as a learning and development manager, and I used to work with Ericsson and iBurst and a host of other companies. My calling is to be a career development coach, so I do this a lot. And as I'm facilitating today, once your trainer, always your trainer. So these are my contact details, and you can follow me on my social media platforms at Ingenio Learning as well. So I'd like to know who has joined today. So if you can just say hello in the chat so everyone can see you. Unfortunately, on my screen, I can't see, but please network in the chat. Just say hello and let us know what's making you smile today. So if you do that for me, I'll be so grateful. So just say hello in the chat and share with everyone what's making you smile today. So for me, what's making me smile is that I've just had some jollof rice, which is my favorite. Thank you. Okay. So I'll just a quick reminder of our topics. I'm covering how to identify and bridge the gap between your skill set and the jobs market. There's three things that I'm hoping that you'll be able to take away by the end of this session. First of all, you'll be able to have a clear idea, clear line of sight, and understand how to identify your own unique skill set, be able to identify the gap between your skill set and the jobs market, and then know how to bridge the gap between your skill set and the job markets. This is our agenda. So it's aligned with my objectives of what I'm hoping you to get out of the session. I'd like you to take a moment and share in the chat what you are hoping to get out of this session as well. If you can share in the chat, that'll be really helpful. So please share in the chat what you are also hoping to get out of this session. I'm hoping I've shared my objectives for you by this session, at the end of this session. So please also share in the chat what you are hoping to get out of this session. Thank you. Now, I'd like to share some data with you. So as I was preparing for this session, a lot of things popped out for me, and I started thinking, that's interesting. And this data is from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn shared that over 140 million skills, do you get me? Over 140 million skills were added by professionals to their profiles from 1st March 2020 until 1st October 2020. Are you one of them? Are you one of them? If you're one of them, please share in the chat that I am one of them. Now, with regards to jobs, LinkedIn, based on their research, has projected that there will be over 150 million, right? If you can hear 150 million, put in the chat 150 million. So there'll be over 150 million technical jobs created globally over the next 5 years. Wow. 150 million, that's a huge number. Let me know if you're one of them. If you're one of them, please share in the chat. That's the jobs that you are planning to do or the jobs you're doing now would be a technical job. So let us know who you are in the chat. Now, I'm going to delve a bit deeper, so stay with me on your unique skill set. Now, I'd like you to think about this question. Who am I? Who am I? Who are you really? What have you been created to do? I shared that for me, my purpose is around career development. So who are you? What have you been created to do? Who are you here to serve? What is your message for them? And how are you making an impact in this world? And these questions don't come easily. I would recommend that you spend some time, some quiet time, meditating and thinking about it and trying to answer this question. And if you're a person of faith, I'll suggest that you seek the face of your maker if you are not very clear in your mind what your purpose on earth is. Now, I want you to remember that there's only one of you. There is only one of you. You have been created uniquely. No two fingerprints are the same of any individual. You were born only once, as far as we know it. We will spend almost 40 years at work, assuming you started working at 20. You will spend at least 40 years at work. And out of that, a total of 80,000 hours working, right? And I want you to ask yourself, how would you like to spend those 80,000 hours before you pass on into the next life? So hold that thought. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. Now, we said we are going to talk about skill sets, right? How you can identify and bridge the gap between your skill sets and the job market. Now, what is a skill set? Now, I will just read out the second definition. A skill set is a specific area of competence, knowledge, experience, and abilities required to do any particular job. And I believe we all have different skill sets, and you would have acquired this from training, from going to school, from working, from observing other people, etc. You'd have gotten some of it from different spaces of your life, and sometimes you might not even remember, how did I learn how to do this? Now, again, last week there was a conference held by Rainbow Consults, dubbed the Learning and Development Africa Conference, and Ed Monk, who is a co-founder of the Learning and Performance Institute, puts forward top 10 soft skills for 2021 and beyond. And on top of it is critical thinking, which the World Economic Forum tipped as the #1 skill required globally from this year onwards. Now, I would like to ask you this question. PwC also did a report, and 82% of over 10,000 workers, and 82% of that group said that these type of human skills can never be replaced. Remember, a lot of people are worried about automation as I go into the next slide. However, the research by PwC said 82% of employees or of workers believe that these skill sets would be required and cannot be replaced. So hold that thought. Now, these are the top 10 technical skills for 2021 and beyond. Customer experience, digital marketing, data analytics, and data science. Let me just share with you, Amazon is training their warehouse attendants, their warehouse staff to be data analysts. That's a clear example. These days, everywhere you go, every webinar, every training that you go, everyone is asking you, can I have the video? Can I have the video? Video producing is so key and so costly. Even funerals require video producing. Artificial intelligence is the order of the day. Information systems management. We go on webinars. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can we do this? We are reaching out to our IT people to support us. If you're a fresh graduate, if you get hired into any organization, do you have any IT skills? Are you able to do Word, PowerPoint, Excel? Think about that. Now, I want you to also think about what skill sets do you have right now that could take you into 2021 and beyond. And if you're comfortable sharing in the chat, please share with others so they know. Now, Ingenio Capital is involved in executive search, organizational development, and human resource management. And opportunities in the job markets that we have filled through headhunting is some of these. We filled IT manager roles, finance manager roles, administrator, HR professionals, IT professionals, HR operations manager roles, and development roles. And when I talk about development roles, it's like roles with the UN, etc. Now, I would like to put it out there. I'm sure if you're looking for work or you're on LinkedIn, you'd see some of these jobs advertised, right? And with COVID, that's upon us. The medical profession, science professionals, those skills will become even more in demand. So these are opportunities in the job markets. I'm sure if you go on Jobaman's website, if you speak to them, you would see much more of what's happening, what roles are coming up, despite the fact that we are in the middle of a global pandemic and the fourth industrial revolution. Now, I'd like to ask you, why do you think you need to have the right skill sets for the job market? If you can share that in the chat, that'll be so good. Why do you need to have the right skill sets for the job market? Okay. Now, why is this important? I'll share with you about 4 different reasons why this is important. The first thing is that any organization requires a competent workforce to be able to be successful in the market. Now, employees who are highly skilled give high performance. That impacts their salaries, it impacts their promotion, etc. Now, we talk about transferable skills, and transferable skills would be in the soft skills bit and the technical skills bit. Now, if you have transferable skills, you can literally work anywhere in the world or any place or any organization or any industry. And then the last thing is that when you're in the middle of a global pandemic, you can pivot. Let me just share with you at this moment a personal story. So at the end of December this year, I'm also a certified IFC and LPI training and performance trainer, a face-to-face training certification. I did that in December last year because I've been training for a long time and did not have any certification to back it. Guess what? COVID happened and everything went online. So I had to pivot and reskill, retool, and get a certified online learning facilitator certification. So think about it. What transferable skills do you have that you can pivot when the world changes or in the middle of a fourth industrial revolution? Now, I've shared with you all of these facts. What does it mean for you? How can you, as an individual, how can you who have joined this call be able to identify your gaps? I'll share just two frameworks with you. One is our good old SWOT analysis. I want you to spend some time. You can just take a pen and paper and think about it. What is my strength? What do people commend me of? What am I good at? What comes naturally to me? What comes easily to me? What are my weaknesses? What are the things that I struggle with? What are the things that when other people are given, it could take them 30 minutes to do, but will take me a day? Write them down. Think about the opportunities. I've shared with you the top 10 skills for 2021 and beyond, both soft and technical skills. I've shared some of the jobs that we are looking for in the job markets. What opportunities are there for you within your industry, within your company, within exactly where you are sitting? What are those opportunities? And what are the threats? You hear things about the jobs market, that there are probably no jobs, that with COVID, there's a third wave. Schools are not reopening. We have to continue working from home. There's an issue with cash flow. You hear things about the economy. Do a SWOT analysis and think about it. And what I'll leave with you is that the things that fall within your strengths and the opportunities are probably places that you could leverage more on to move your skill sets further and become aligned in the job market. Now, I'll share with you feedback, and it's very much aligned to what I shared previously. What are people telling you you're good at? What are people telling you you're okay at? And what are people telling you that you're not so great at? List them down. List them down. But at the back of your mind, think about the skill sets that you need for your next job. Think about the skill sets that you need for your future job and mark it or map it against that. Now, how can you bridge your gaps? You've done your SWOT analysis. You've thought about all the feedback that you've received. You've probably spent some time reflecting on this and thinking about what really makes sense for me. Now, I've got maybe a list of 3 things. I'm looking at my company that I'm working in. I'm looking at the jobs that I'm looking for. How can I bridge my gaps? How can I bridge my gaps? Now, I'll leave this with you and think about it. I call this the success cycle. It's all up to you. It all depends on you. And I'd like to start with the blue on the left. What are your belief systems? There's this quote that says that you can achieve anything you want if you only believe. I remember when I started off my career in HR, I always wanted to end up in consultancy. And here I am. Your mindset is important. So you can see belief as your mindset. And now your potential. And I define potential as anything you can become, anything that you can do that you haven't yet done. What are those things? What are the results that you currently have? What are the results about the things that you've done a brilliant job of? What are the results that do people in your organization know about it? Do people in your team know about it? Do people globally or within your industry know about it? Do people in Ghana know about it? And what are your actions? What are you doing about it? Do you have a long list of things that you need to do yesterday, but you still haven't done? With regards to your career, with regards to your development, with regards to your skill sets and how you can bridge it in the job market. And that depends on you. This is what I call the success cycle. And I'd like you to think about what are the 4 things within the success cycle that I really, really need to focus on to really move from point A to point B. Okay? And you can share that in the chat. And I'd like to talk about actions. You can have all the best skills in the world. You can have all the best ideas in the world. But if you sit and do nothing, nothing happens. So what's your action plan? How do you bridge that gap between your skill sets that you have and the job market, between the skill sets you have and what I've shared with you, within the skill sets you have and what's currently happening? And I'd like to talk about the first thing I'd like to share is skills development. Now, with regards to skills development, you've done your SWOT analysis, you've looked at your feedback, you've probably got your top 3 things that you need to focus on over the next 3 years. What are you going to do about it? How do you then determine what to focus on? What are the learnings that you should focus on? Now, I'd like to, before you jump into the what, I'd like you to think about the how. So we all learn differently. Some people learn by doing. So if I pick, let's say, someone who is doing a balance sheet, for example, the first time they learn how to do a balance sheet is when they actually do it. Reflective observation, you actually go through the experience, you learn how to recruit, you sit in a recruitment campaign and you think about it. What worked, what didn't work, what can I do differently? Active experimentation, you watch someone bake a cake and then you go home, you look at your notes and you try. That's active experimentation. Abstract conceptualization, those are big words, right? I'm struggling to pronounce them, right? Is about concluding and learning from the experience. So what can you learn from it? What are the grand theories? What worked? No, if you do A, B, C, D, you end in. So, for example, you'd probably say, if I do a degree in medicine, I'll end up as a doctor. But I know so many people who are doctors, not so many actually, quite a number, maybe 3 people who are doctors who are lawyers now. So, what are you concluding and learning from your experiences? So, how do you learn? So, think about it. How do you best learn? Have that up at the back of your mind. And this is the what. Now, it's called, this is a framework that we use in learning and development. It's called the 70-20-10 model. Now, 70% of all learning happens on the job. It happens by doing, through performance and practice. And some of that could be you get into it, you have all the theory, you get into a company and you're actually doing the work and you're learning whilst you're doing it. 20% is learning from others. We call it feedback and collaboration. And that's where you get mentors and coaches and sometimes peers to help you along your development journey. Informal learning, that's what we are doing right now, right? 10% of learning. And now what we say is that it's best to concentrate 70% of your learning by doing. And there's so many opportunities you could take up. You could take up internships, you could take up job shares, you could do things for people to build your experience. And you can reach out to people to ask them to be your coaches or mentors. And sometimes you may need to pay. Sometimes people are willing to do it for free. And these days, there's so many opportunities to access free learning. Coursera, there's things from Coursera and a few others. that you can actually do. And even LinkedIn Learning, they offer some free learning opportunities. And so, like things like this, the webinar, this is the free webinar. You can take advantage of some of those things. And sometimes you'll have to pay depending on what you're looking to get out of it. Now, I'll talk about evaluation because there's nothing you can do without stopping and thinking around what have I achieved, what's working, what's not working, have I ticked all the boxes, have I reached the competence level that I really, really need to get to? And you can only do that by practicing, by asking for feedback, and by spending some time in deep thoughts thinking about it. And sometimes if you are in a job, it's good to speak to your peers, your colleagues, your line manager around what you're performing and how you're performing. And I always talk about the fact that you need to build your CV, you need to build your career rather than looking at opportunities from a linear perspective, as in the next job and the next job upwards. Build your CV, build your portfolio, build your career. Now, I don't know how I'm doing for time. I think we started at 1:30, so I really should be coming off now. I'd like you to share with me in the chat one thing you're going to do as a result of this session. I'd like to leave this with you. I have some frameworks available. So I talked about the SWOT analysis. I have some frameworks. So if you'd like to, you can reach out to me at Ingenio Learning on either Facebook or Instagram, or even on LinkedIn at Mary Bennett or at Ingenio Capital, or click on the link here and request for it, and we will send them to you. We have about 4, and I'll leave this with you. I would like to think that what I've shared today teaches you that learning to learn is your most important skill set, since it provides the gateway to everything else you want to develop for the jobs market. Thank you. Now I'm ready to take questions, so I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. That was very useful. And my audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to send in your questions and Mary will help understand. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can see a question here. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So, we have a question from Noma. How do we ensure that our informal learning will be recognized by employers?
Okay. So when you talk about informal learning, that's not the classroom learning, right? So what I'll recommend you do that is make sure your employer knows. Hold on a minute. Do I need to put something off because I can hear an echo?
Okay, I think I have to put my microphone off rather.
Okay. So when we talk about informal learning, that's not things that you're doing in the classroom. So that's things that you're doing on the job. There are things that maybe you have a mentor or a coach. And I would recommend that you let your employer know what you're doing. Because if it's something that you're doing outside of work and is related to work, it's worth telling them that this is what I'm doing. This is what's working for me. And a lot of the time it will show in your work. I've always had a coach or a mentor that was not a coach and a mentor that were not in my organization. When I used to work for Talo, when I used to work for Ericsson, they worked in the banking industry in a different sector. And I was always, whenever I had a one-to-one with my line manager, I let them know that I had a coach, I had a mentor, and I shared this with them. As long as, you're not sharing confidential stuff, because of the work I do, I work in HR. As long as I'm not sharing confidential stuff, and, this is what I learned, etc. So it's important to continue sharing your key learnings with them. One thing I know is that it will show in your work. It would always show in your work. So you improve. But it's worth letting people know, because if you don't talk about it, no one would know. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Yeah. So which means that it's good to tell success stories. It's very important.
Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Do I have any other questions? Okay, there are no questions. All right. Thank you. So I think we would have to move to our very next speaker, which is Dorcas Kwao. But before Dorcas comes in, I would like to tell you about Seize Your Next Opportunity campaign. Yes, so the Seize Your Next Opportunity campaign is to let you, okay, thanks for the answer. All right, thank you, Nomatu, for your question. All right, so the Seize Your Next Opportunity campaign is to give you out there looking for a job. So we talked about the job skills strengths. We're talking about the critical thinking. If you're a good communicator, you're a good storyteller, you have great customer service skills, and you are looking for your next opportunity, Jobberman is giving you the chance to look for a job. There are top companies in Ghana here who are looking for professionals just like you. So if you are looking for a new opportunity, I'll urge you to log on to jobberman.com.gh and find your next opportunity there. No matter the kind of job you are looking for, this is your time. Don't let it pass you by. So we would also have with us Adi. Adi will be talking to us about CV tips, effective CV tips. So before Adi comes in, let's invite Dorcas. Dorcas Kwao is the Human Resource Executive at EIB Network. And Dorcas will also be talking to us about when is it time to seize your next opportunity, identification, and then the next step. You may have found a job that you are interested in, or you think that you can do something. How are you able to even identify that this is really what I want, and how can I get it? So Dorcas, if you can hear me, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Dorcas.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Honestly, I'm glad that Mary has done a very, very, very good job this afternoon. And I believe that we are all happy with her presentation. My name is Dorcas, and I started as a teacher basically. Went through to do BSc joined as an administrator at the Central University, and then had the opportunity to come to EIB Network as an HR assistant, basically. So as time went on and I found opportunity, I kept moving. This afternoon, I'm going to talk to you about seizing the next opportunity. How do you know that it is time for you to move on? In actual fact, let's look at the next slide. What is opportunity recognition? The next slide, please. Thank you. Basically, opportunity recognition is when individuals and businesses try to judge and look at different approaches by which they can make sure that they are on top of their business, or they are bringing in new products that can sell, etc. But you as an employee, when is it time to see that, oh, this is a next opportunity for me to come out and do so and get a career opportunity? It is basically the time, having the mindset that will help you to able to identify career opportunities that are in line with your career goals. You look around you, what is happening? I always say that when you have the ability to recognize opportunities, you know how to identify promising changes unfolding around you, and then you take action and take advantage of them. What are you doing now that is also impacting your career goals, your career choices? Just as Mary said, I heard that she talked about you learning. Have you learned so far? Have you taken up any online course that is going to propel you for the next opportunity? If not, let's see what happens for you to see that, oh, it is time, I need to move on or I need to move out. Next slide, please. Let's look at the warning signs. Sometimes you are so distracted with your sleep, you can't sleep very well. You wake up at night thinking, I don't feel happy in my organization. Have you looked at the whys? Why are you not happy? Sometimes you are having problems with your bosses. Why is it so? you are arguing with your colleagues. Why is it so? Have you found out why you are not being able to concentrate at work, at home, especially with the issue of COVID, where maybe staff have been laid off, there's little money in there, and spouse, family, people are demanding, they want you to get along with them and let them know that, we don't have this. There are medical bills to pay. You have so much stress. Please, let's go to the next slide. First and foremost, sometimes you sit in an organization whereby you feel that you are going nowhere. There's no mobility upwards. When was the last time you thought about promotion? Is there promotion in that organization? If not, and you already have a skill set, then it means that it is time for you to move on. Very, very important. If you are arguing with your bosses on your work, you are not doing it well, number one, or you don't feel comfortable when you are working in teams and then issues come out and you resolve them with anger. Honestly, it is time for you to move on. Some may say that, okay, we have issues at home. That is what we are bringing on board. Sometimes it may not be so. Just as Mary said, have you thought about the fact that you may also be in the wrong place as we speak, which is not aligned to your career goals, but you are there for the fact that, you are paying good salary, so you are there. At the end of the day, sometimes it stresses you out because you are not enjoying what you are doing. You don't love what you do. It becomes a problem. At the end of the day, you will not be performing well. And you will definitely have issues with your bosses, which obviously distract you. Do you dread Mondays? It's like, am I going back to that job again? Am I going to see that supervisor again? It means that it is time for you to seek another opportunity. Have you built skills, just as Mary said, for you to be able to jump and say that I'm looking for another opportunity for which I want to grab this chance? During COVID, a lot of things happened. Have you done any form of digital training? There are a lot of us who are not even social media friendly. We don't want to do anything IT. It doesn't matter the department in which you are or your career path. You don't need to be an IT expert to do certain things. Just have some knowledge and then carry it from that place. Are you less productive? Whereby almost all the time you are on Facebook. You've lost passion for the job. The way you came in so enthusiastic. You want to get on the next project that is going on. Or have you realized that it has become a routine and you are easily bored? It means that it is time for you to look for another opportunity. Now, talking about looking for another opportunity, it is very, very important, just as Mary told us, have you built the right skill set? Example, as an HR person, you need to go up. So for me, I started as a teacher, as I told you, went on to be an administrator somewhere. When I did my HR, the moment I realized that there was an opportunity for me to become an HR assistant at another place, I moved just to make sure that I'm keeping up with my career path. When I came in, I realized that I really needed to upgrade myself because I wanted to go to the top. So immediately I decided to go to the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, because that is the next thing I wanted to do. So the moment there is an opportunity, I slide in there. How do we do that? Number one, upgrading yourself. Online courses, seminars. These days, we are so used to our rigid attending university, grabbing a lot of certificates for which we are even not using for anything. But we have forgotten that when you are on the job, there are training sections which you must gladly attend. Some of us, we just attend training session because it's time for training and I've been asked to go. Make sure you are learning on that course. Do you read? We can basically say that for some time now, per the skill set that you have not read anything on that skill set for the past 2 years. How can you be relevant when there is an opportunity? If you are reading, don't just read in the area that's your career path. Read from other areas so that you can be very relevant when you are working in teams. Do you identify potential sponsors when you get into a space, an organization, or a particular environment where you identify people who can help you chart a very good course in your career path? Mentors, yes. Other people who can, sponsors basically mean the people who are ready to help you both in cash and then also in your learning ability as mentors. Example, when you get into an organization, do you identify anybody in there who you can align yourself with as a mentor to help you continue both on hand, because you are good at what you do? Almost all the time, you need to be doing something. And that person should be able to help you each time there is a project. The person calls you in, discusses with you, tells you when you are wrong, for you to identify that what I'm doing is wrong. Then you come back on course, identify your shortfalls, work towards them, and go up. Anytime you want to take a step, you must be ready and open for change. If you're not open for change, you can go nowhere when change comes. We were all here when COVID came. How have we taken advantage of COVID? We were not used to working from home. Some way, somehow, immediately we started to work from home. So which means that if you're not digitally inclined, it becomes a problem. You now have to go back training. So, are you ready to change? Are you ready to manage the time that is given to you so that you can do something extra? Sometimes we need to burn the midnight oil and do other things that will help us or impact our skill set one way or the other. And then let's also look at embracing experience and ditching titles. Experiences, sometimes they are the best teacher, or it's been said. So redoing is very, very important. When there is a project in the office, how do you gladly come on that project? Is another department doing a project that you think that you have a skill set that you can contribute to? Just as Mary told us, have you told people in your department that, oh, I have this skill set, I can jump on this project and do it well? So you take opportunity, you go in there, you do, and sometimes it even gives you a promotion. because people did not know that you had that kind of skill set. And it can even give you another opportunity to be ahead somewhere else. So it is very, very important. Apart from that, we should also know that we can lead in other ways without titles. We are so glued to our titles. I'm the HR manager, I'm the supervisor here, I'm there. So in actual fact, this particular project is demeaning, or it is under me, I am higher than that. No. Are you good at working in teams? If you see the opportunity to be in that project at your workplace, grab it. If it is not at your workplace, is it in the church? Grab it. Is it in your social network? Grab it. Because out of those things, you also build your experience. Okay? When you embrace the opportunity, that is, you build more experience. I remember there was this lady who was promoted to be an assistant head, where she was sharing her testimony and was saying that she happened to be a Sunday school teacher. And as she does that, she was taking videos of whatever she was doing in church. And when she had the opportunity to be promoted, they asked her what other social activities she does. And she said, oh, I'm a Sunday school teacher. I said, are you sure? We want to see what you do. And because she had taken videos of those activities on that particular project, she shared them. And it gave her the promotion. So it is very, very important for us to be able to volunteer in other places aside what we do at work and be promoted when the opportunity comes. Or when you find yourself wanting to jump ship and go into a different space, make meaningful connections. How is your networking like? These days, it's happening a lot. We have a lot of WhatsApp groups. Are you in any of them? Are you speaking to friends who are in other circles? For example, I am an HR person, but I have friends in the banking industry. I have friends in marketing department, etc., who I talk to most of the time, just to know what is happening in other places so that it can give me a leverage as an HR person when I want to speak to issues. So it is very, very important that you have meaningful connections. Your networking should be strong. Join other professionals if you have the opportunity. Is it social networking? Is it a talk that is being given at church? Go for that talk. Now we have a lot of free Zoom conferences. Join. Share ideas with others who are not even part of your professional network. It helps you to be learned. It's not conventional, but it helps you to be learned because it opens up your mind when you have such connections. When you see free Zoom and spend some little money and get connected in there, it is very, very important. And the very last thing I also want to talk about is entrepreneurship. When we talk about the fact that we must take next steps, sometimes you are feeling jittery in that place because you are stressed up with family issues, etc., which is not helping you, to be able to go on. Now, I would want to say that I am a personal example of that. I am an HR person in my workplace, but I also bid. I have an online store that I put up my display. One thing I've realized is that most of the time we are stressed up with family issues, stressed up with friends in the society in which we live in. money is a problem. So when I'm looking for opportunity, it is because this company is paying higher. So I want to immediately move there. I go there and I realize that whatever I am doing, I'm not happy. And because I am not happy, I tend to slow down and slack. So what are you good at? Just as Mary told us, we have God-given talents that are in us apart from the careers that we have chosen. I recently chanced upon a documentary on Joy News where a banker decided to go into mushroom farming. So she was doing her banking job and discovered that she had some form of insight. And apart from that, pleasure in farming. So she decided to go into it. And currently, she's doing so well alongside her banking job. So she's not stressed out with issues. She's taking on people to help her do what she's doing. And then she's also going along with others in her job. So she's happy. There's no frowning. She's not under pressure. She's not arguing with her bosses, because sometimes those things come about because we are not happy because we don't have enough to spend. And my people, COVID came to let us know that there are opportunities out there that we need to explore in as much as we have our job skill set. Finally, I would want to say that time is of essence, and hence don't let anything limit you. Grab opportunity when you see it. Ask questions as you go along. All the skills you harness every day has brought you this far. So, if there is nothing you are doing as we speak, then remember the world is on autopilot. Fix yourself at the right place, at the right time, and with the right people. It's very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, time is of essence. I would want to repeat your final words. Time is of essence. Hence, don't let anything limit you. All the skills you harness every day has brought you this far. Yeah, so this is coming from this is coming from Dorcas Kwao of EIB. Dorcas is the HR executive at EIB Ghana. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for your insights.
You're welcome.
I would like to say something about the connection. Yes. These days, a lot of people are on social media, but not on the right channels.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for opportunities, just like Dorcas mentioned, make sure you connect to the right people. Connect to people who are also in your industry. Learn more from them, and then also it is these people that are going to connect you to the opportunities. Yes, opportunities are everywhere. It is up to you to grab them. Just like Jobberman is giving you the opportunity to grab your next job opportunity. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So if you don't open up, if you don't open up to people, nobody will show you where the next job is. So connection is very key when it comes to grabbing opportunities or seizing opportunities. Okay, so do we have any questions? We have a comment from Adi. Adi says, thank you very much for the delivery. Okay, yes, Dorcas, that's for you. Thank you.
Thank you too. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
I wanted to give to my time very fast.
Yes. So if you have any questions, please send it to us now, and Dorcas will have them answered. Yes. Do we have any question? Let me see. Okay.
Not yet.
We don't have any question at the moment. Yeah. So Dorcas, yes, I'd like to ask you a question. What you mentioned that I think there is some feedback from your end. Hello, can you hear me well?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so talking about grabbing opportunities. For example, if somebody is working in an environment where he likes his job, he enjoys doing what he does, but in the situation where the salary itself is not so good, what advice would you give to such a person? Maybe the person sees there's growth in that organization and he enjoys his job, but the salary isn't so good. What would be your advice?
That's an excellent one. My dear, just as I said, entrepreneurship, there are things that we do that can give us extra cash. Identify your God-given talents. Okay, build them up, and then have some small side something that you do. There are people I know who are doing small businesses on that, and they make sure that it doesn't conflict with their job.
Okay.
Because you enjoy what you do currently where you are. Speak to people. There are a lot of needs out there that you can easily solve. So far as you find a problem to solve, you are good to go. And as time goes on, before you realize, you can even build an empire on your own.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dorcas. That was a very good one. Thank you so much. So much. Okay, so if you just joined in, we have a few more minutes to go. The next speaker will be Adi Amwako. Adi is a HR business partner here at Jobberman, and he will be taking us through effective CV services tips. Yes. So Adi, I'm inviting you. Hello, Adi. Hello, Adi, if you can hear me. Okay, since Adi is yet to join us, I'd like to talk to you more about Jobberman. Yes, if you are an employer here and you just joined in, Jobberman is a leading recruitment platform here in Ghana. If you are looking for qualified people to join your organization, to move your organization forward, you'll get the qualified professionals here in Ghana only on Jobberman. So why don't you log on to www.jobberman.com.gh and then you set yourself up as an employer looking for customer service professionals, looking for sales managers, looking for marketers, looking for engineers, medical professionals. You'll find them all on Jobberman. Okay, let me see if Adi is ready. Hello, Adi. Okay, Adi is still not ready. All right. So as I was saying, we are the leading recruitment platform here in Ghana. So if you're also a job seeker looking for new opportunities, we got to know about how to find your next job opportunity. You have to connect with people, talk to like-minded people who are in your industry, and that will be a great one for you. So I think Adi is ready now. So hello, Adi. Okay, we still can't get Adi. All right. I'll still have to continue. Yes. So I was talking to you about seize your next opportunity. You need to seize an opportunity when you find it. Sometimes you don't have to just wait for opportunity to happen to you. You must go out there and find them. Finding them is by looking out for where these jobs are. I mentioned that employers can find the best quality, the best and then the qualified candidates to work for their team. And you as a job seeker, you are eyeing a certain position. You are looking for this job somewhere and you don't know where to find it. Jobberman is the only option. Set yourself up as a job seeker, complete your profile up to 100%. When you're able to complete your profile, you get notifications when jobs are available. When I say when jobs are available, in a day we upload as much as 100 jobs. So it shouldn't be the case that you are getting access to all the jobs, but you are getting access to the peculiar ones that you have interest in. So for example, if you are interested in a customer service job, When you set yourself up as a job seeker, make sure that you create an alert for customer service positions, and then when there is any job that is available for customer service, you will be the very first one to be alerted. And when you're alerted and then you open, make sure that you apply, and apply to only the I'll be very I'll stress on this one. Make sure you apply to only jobs you are qualified for. A lot more people apply to jobs that they think they can do, but you go through their CV and you realize that no, this person is really not qualified to do this job. Okay, so Adi, okay, I think Adi is ready now. Hello, Adi. Is Adi ready? Hello, Adi. Wow, I think Adi is still having internet challenges, so let me. Wow. Well, if you have any questions, please drop them and then we will have our resource persons answer them. Mary is still online. Dorcas is also still online. So if you have any questions, please drop them and they will help you answer them. Okay, so Adi. Yeah, hello everyone. If you can hear me well, we have technical challenges here. So Adi will just switch in here and we will continue with effective CV writing tips. Yes, before you apply to any job, what we say is your marketing tool is your CV. Your CV should be able to project you to the employer or the recruiter or even the hiring manager. So if you don't have a good CV, how are you going to sell yourself to that employer? Your CV must speak for you. So Adi will help us understand what an effective CV is, and if you have any challenge writing a good CV, Adi is the best person to help us out. So without wasting much time, I'll let Adi join us here and he will take it away from here.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone, good afternoon. Please, if you can hear me, kindly drop a hi in the chat box so I know I have people around. Okay, so my name is Amwakusian Adi. I'm a recruiter with Jobberman Ghana. I also work with the recruitment team as well. I also work on CV writing for job seekers. Today I'll be discussing with you effective CV writing. As a recruiter on daily basis, I'm able to go through an average of 100 to 150 CVs in a day. So I come across a lot of people looking for a job, and I've been able to put something together to help you know what to do when you're applying for a job. So without much ado, let me move on to the next slide. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk to you about what a CV is and the purpose to which we write a CV. I also share with you the types of CV, the format of a CV, and also some tips for a good CV. And finally, I'll share with you a sample CV. Now, when we say a CV, a curriculum vitae is a Latin word meaning the course of life. So it tells us what you have done so far in your life, let me say career-wise. And a CV is a snapshot of your career and educational life. So I come across people writing CV like writing an autobiography. So what they eat, what they like, a whole lot of things on their CV. Please, a CV is not an autobiography. It's just a snapshot, so it should be concise. Just tell us a picture about who you are and what you can do. Because on the average, I spend less than a minute going through a CV, and I'm able to get what I want for employers. Now, let's talk about types of a CV. Now, there are basically two types of CV. We have the chronological CV, which is the traditional CV. We have the skill-based CV. Now, one may ask, what is a traditional CV or a chronological CV? Now, this is the type of CV that lists your details and the appropriate sections, starting with the most recent one. So, let's say presently you are a sales manager with, let's say, a reputable organization, and maybe you've worked, or along the line you've worked with other organizations, and maybe you've been in other industries. Always make sure your current CV, or sorry, your current role comes first. That's the most recent one on your CV. Now, it has to be under appropriate section. So we have maybe your professional summary, you can have your skills, you can have your references. And it should be just a snapshot of who really you are. It shouldn't be something very long, which is going to make it boring to read. Because if an employer takes your CV and then he has to go through about 5 to 10 pages CV just to know who you are, I don't think the person will feel it interesting or be interested in getting to know who is behind the CV. And then we also have the other type of CV, which is the skill-based CV. Now, this type of CV focuses on your skills and personal qualities. Investment industry, maybe previously you were in maybe banking and finance. So this the type of CV that focuses on that. It focuses on your skills and personal qualities, and it is most used when maybe you want to switch jobs. So you touch only on your skills and personal quality, because if you can bear with me that if you are an HR person now and then you want to switch to, let's say, the finance industry, it's going to be hard, because the person would like to focus or would like to know more about what you've done in the past. So at this point, the person will be interested in knowing what you bring to bear in the job role that you intend to fill. So this is the type of CV that you prepare, which is the skill-based CV. Now, what is the purpose of a CV? A CV is a marketing tool. And you know how marketers work. The purpose of marketing is just to sell yourself to someone. So your CV should first be a marketing tool, which should sell you to someone and be able to request for an interview. So if you are sending CVs on daily basis, on hourly basis, and then you are not getting an interview to attend, then means there's a problem with your CV, which you need to work on. And the third purpose of a CV is to give a snapshot of your professional and academic background. Moving on, now let's go through the format of a CV. Now, there's no standard format for a CV, but these are some of the things that needs to be on it. So you have to have your personal details, which might include your name, your active contact details, and then your email address. You have to get your professional summary, your career objective, your core skills, your career history, some key career achievements, your educational background, your professional development, and then your references. Kindly note that for references, it always has to be based on requests. Now let's look at tips for a good CV. Your CV should be concise, should go straight to the point. Now you have to choose the right font style and font size. Preferably use Times New Roman or Garamond, and styles should be 11 or 12. Now you have to use action words on your CV. Your CV shouldn't be storytelling. It should give us points. Just go straight to the point. Now you have to focus on your achievements and your key results. Not necessarily bringing what you were doing, but focus on your achievements. And the maximum CV should just be 2 pages. And one thing I've realized about job seekers is that you have one standard CV and you used to apply for so many jobs. No, it's very wrong. Modify your CV according to the job requirement. So if you're applying for a job in marketing which requires a particular skill, make sure you modify your CV to fit the requirements of the job. Other than that, you're going to apply for 1,000 jobs and then you end up saying you are not being called for interview. You need to tailor your CV according to each job requirement. Now, tips for a good CV. That's the don'ts of a CV. Don't use fancy templates. Don't use shorthands or typo errors. Don't bring irrelevant personal information like date of birth, your place of birth, your favorite food, your hobbies, your pictures, and then health status. No. And finally, don't lie on your CV, because when you lie on your CV, it will be seen during an interview session. Now, if you want a free CV review, you can follow this link, which is jobberman.com.gh/CV-review. Just send your CV to us. We'll review for you, and then if there's any recommendations, we'll make it, and then we can help you get or seize your next opportunities. Now, I'm open for any question and answers. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Adi, for the presentation. We are much grateful to you. Thank you so much. So Adi was talking about CVs. Like I mentioned, your CV is your marketing tool. So if you are looking to sell yourself well, your CV should be able to do that on your behalf. Yes, that's the most important thing to do here when you are looking to seize your next opportunity. So our time is almost up. Do we have any questions on CV writing? Do we have any questions? Okay, if we don't have any questions, I would like to invite my speakers back online, and we would have to say a very goodbye to every one of us who joined, Dorcas, and then Mary. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Mary Bennett. Yes. Okay, so yes, we can hear you. All right. I'm checking if we have any questions. All right. We don't have any questions. Hi. Yeah. Hello. Mary,
Hello.
can you hear me? And then Dorcas, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes. So we've come to the end of our session, the Talking Talent webinar series 3. And it was about staying relevant in today's world of work and job skills trends for 2021. I have learned a lot, and I know my audience too, they have learned a lot. Thank you so much, Mary, and then thank you so much, Dorcas. I don't know whether you would like to just share one or two things before we go.
Okay.
So I'll start with you, Mary.
I think for me, I'd just like to say a big thank you for the opportunity, and also a big thank you to Jobberman for the opportunity, and a big thank you to everyone who signed up to learn with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, and then Dorcas.
Exactly. So much. In actual fact, I've really enjoyed myself, and going to connect with Mary so strongly. I'll be so undetachable.
Yes,
And
you need to connect with
thanks.
you the next opportunity.
I'm already
Yes.
connected with you, so I just accept it.
Yeah.
That's it. And thank you so much, Jobaman. Thank you also for the audience online. Please connect with Jobaman. It's very, very important.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, your next job opportunity may just be lying there and you
Exactly.
may have no idea about it.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
just, yes, log on to Jobaman, www.jobaman.com.gh, and sign up today. It's so easy. Yes. So my name has been Genevieve Amponsa. I'm the community marketer here at Jobaman, and join me was Mary Bennett, the
No.
executive partner at Ingenio Capital, and then we had Dorcas Kwao, EIB Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us. And to you, my lovely
Thank
audience,
you.
thank you for joining me. Yes. So we meet another
Good to be
time
here.
for the Talking Talent webinar series. Thank you, and I'll say a goodbye to everyone. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, bye. 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 Okay.